Good morning. This is Katrina with Hen's House Homeschooling, and I am here today to talk to y'all about what it takes to get started homeschooling. One of the biggest questions that people ask, and it is the most intimidating question, is how do I get started homeschooling? And so I'm going to go ahead and give you like the legal side of it, and then we'll continue on with some other episodes that get you like with the curriculum and all that as well. But the first thing you need to do is you need to go on Google and you need to look up homeschooling in your state and what are the laws. So we are from Georgia. So I'm going to give you the Georgia requirements for homeschooling. Every state is different. Some states are stricter than others. Others are a little more lenient. Georgia tends to be a little bit more of a lenient state. It still has like requirements and everything, but it's not like hardcore like I've heard of some other states being. So I'm going to give you the requirements from Georgia. And then if you are not in Georgia, you just need to Google what your requirements are. And Georgia has a really great website. It literally lists everything out for you on one page. It is really amazing. And I'm going to include the link to the Georgia one at the bottom of this video as well. So the first thing you need to do in the state of Georgia is you need to file what is called a letter of intent. This letter goes to the Georgia Department of Education. And it's really the only official document you have to send in. It is due, it needs to be submitted by September 1st. So if you were like, I want to pull my kid out of school, or it's summertime, and I really decided last minute I want to do this, September 1st, y'all, you can get it by then. Or there's also a way that you can, if you pull your child out of school, you can do this and you can send in your letter of intent. I think it takes up to like 45 days. You have up to 45 days to show that you're homeschooling once you've done that letter of intent. So if this is in the middle of the year, there is a way to do that as well. You're not stuck with that. One thing I would suggest with this though is back it up. I've got it set to my email. I have it printed and I have it on my desktop in a file. So like I am always about backing up your documents. Requirements in the state of Georgia. So you have to be able to teach 180 days and about 4.5 hours a day, as long as your student is physically able to do that. Field trips also count as a day. So like if you go, like we like to go to Jekyll Island and we like to go to the Sea Turtle Museum, and we like to kind of learn about the turtles and everything, that does count as a day. A field trip is a day. Also, your end of the year testing, or if you do end of the year testing, or in this case nationals testing, that also counts as a day. So a lot of curriculums that you're gonna see only have like 175 lessons. And that's why, because they expect that you're going to have like a field trip and testing and stuff like that as well. You are required to teach certain subjects: math, English, English language arts, science, social studies, and reading. So these are required that you do have to teach. You have to be able to prove that you are teaching these subjects. You do have an annual progress report, and it must be kept for up to 3 years. So basically what that is it's basically a report card. You keep it for up to 3 years. You also would have, and I'm going to show you this a little bit more in another episode where we talk about record keeping, but you also have like a homeschool portfolio where you list the classes that you're teaching, so like, and what curriculum you use. So like example, last year we did Abeka for some, and then we turned around and did, what's the other one we did? We did Apologia for marine biology. And so I took the descriptions out of each of those and put them there. And then I was able to put like what grade they got. And if your student gets a credit, you can also put like what credit it is on that portfolio. And I just keep that on a Google document that I just keep on my Google Drive. And so every year I just can keep adding to it as we go. Let's see. Parents must have a high school diploma or a GED. If for some reason you don't, you can hire a tutor. You are just still the one that's got to be responsible. The tutor won't be responsible. You're still the responsible one. So keep that in mind. Students must take a national standardized test every 3 years, okay? This is not the end of the year Georgia milestones that a lot of our students in public schools take. This is a national test every 3 years. That's 3rd grade, 6th grade, 9th grade, and 12th grade. You have to keep these records, okay? Forever, basically. You want to keep them for a long time, okay? Just keep these records all through your homeschooling career until they graduate. So people are like, how does my student get their driver's license if we homeschool? All you need is that declaration of intent. Okay, so you will take that declaration of intent that you have backed up and backed up and backed up again, and you give it to your student, and then whenever you go to do the driver's exam and everything, that is their attendance, all the stuff that they would need from a public school or a private school. That is what they need. So that's kind of the easy version of what it takes to get started. I feel like that was the most intimidating part for me, but it's really actually the easiest, because I feel like the hardest part for me is finding curriculum. And we'll go over that in another episode as well. And I want to just touch base real quick on record keeping. And I will actually show you in a different episode how we keep records and kind of have it in a better format for you. But I do, technically, Georgia, you don't actually have to keep all these records anymore. But I strongly suggest doing it anyways. And so does the HSLDA, was it a Homeschool Legal Defense Association? They also suggest doing this, even if it's not required. And the reason is because if you were to move, if there's ever any scrutiny over something, you ever need any kind of legal defense, you have these documents, okay? And so like an attendance record, I don't have, you can have it on an Excel spreadsheet. I have a planner, like a homeschool planner, and I just check the days whenever we do it. Like, oh, yep, we did school this day, and that's how I do it. And then if I need to, I can always go back and put it in a Excel file, but I'm just not on my computer as much with that. But you do want to kind of keep an attendance record. So if anybody would ever come and be like, hey, what's going on? Do you really do 180 days? Yes, you do. You want to keep the information on the textbooks and the workbooks, but that's where the homeschool portfolio comes in. Put the information on there. We don't do, if they're just the little quick Walmart books, we don't necessarily put that on there. We'll just put homeschooling, handwriting, and we did handwriting, So, but if you have little extra workbooks, you don't necessarily need those. Samples of schoolwork, we keep the good samples, like reports, tests. You also want to keep tests. That's the other thing I was going to tell you about. Test results for your portfolio. You want to keep samples of schoolwork, but we keep reports, really good stuff. Like if they have a really great day in handwriting, we might keep that. And we have a 3-ring binder. We just kind of put all that in. And that way people can see samples of this. Any correspondence with school offices or officials, keep those. CYA, y'all. CYB, maybe. You get the idea. Protect yourself. Back up. Keep those. I'll show you an example of a portfolio later, but as I was saying, it literally should have all this information in your portfolio anyways, so you just have it all. You just pull it up and be like, hey, here we go. This is what we did. And any other document showing that your child is receiving an appropriate education in compliance with the law. Example, we do homeschool co-op, and we do our, my oldest has her first credit in marine biology, so that's a science in a lab. And so we have all that information. So that's a high school credit. We're doing Spanish through the homeschool co-op for credits. That means in essence, somebody else is teaching that. And so we will make sure we have that's this year. So we will make sure that we have all the documents with that as well. So you need to keep everything for at least 3 years. So what we do is all of our curriculum, we put in the box at the end of the year, and it goes out to our barn for 3 years. And then after 3 years, we get rid of it. However, high school, you want to keep that information forever, okay? Put it on your Google Drive. I'm a big fan of Google Drive. If you don't like Google Drive, put it on a backup, okay? We have, I try to make sure that I have at least 3 backups of it, like Google Drive, on a jump drive, and on my desktop as well. So backup. But high school, you do need to keep pretty much forever. It's something you definitely want to have on hand. So if you have any questions, I may not be able to answer them as well if you are outside of Georgia, but if you're in Georgia, please feel free to ask, because I need to know, like, what do y'all need to know? So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that y'all have a really great day. So, P.S., this is not intended as legal advice. This is just to help you get started with your homeschooling journey.